Hello, everybody. This is Swati live from Los Angeles. Today, we are going to start with the body sensation, body awareness meditation. We are done with our 1 week of breath awareness meditations. Now, we are going to move on to the next phase, the next stage. Before we do that, one more time, send me any comments, anything about your experience. It doesn't have to be questions. It could be good, bad, whatever it is that comes up in your mind. You can post it here, but you can also email me at 2meditatetogether@gmail.com. Number 2meditatetogether@gmail.com. I would like to continue the story that I had started telling you about the origins of mindfulness. And as I said before, 2500 years ago, Prince Siddharth, who went and meditated under a banyan tree in Gaya, who found the answer to the question he was looking for, which is how do people deal with the pain and suffering that seems to be inevitable in everybody's life. And he found his answer in the bricks of attachment. You take away the bricks, and then the house of misery collapses. He came up with a lot of other related ideas. Later on, it came to be known as Buddhism, but that's not the way he started. It was basically, he was a teacher and he wanted to give the knowledge that he had found to people. How do you create the right type of non-attachment? Is through, one of the big ways is through meditations, Vipassana style of meditation. And mindfulness, as I said, is kind of like the modern version of Vipassana. Sacred but secular, serious but simple. Now, how did that happen? So, after Buddha's teachings flourished in India under the name of Buddhism for almost 1000 years or 1200 years, Buddhism left India. It was partly because of historic reasons, such as Hinduism and Buddhism kind of mixed together. Hinduism, in fact, established itself as a primary religion in India. And also, the big university, Nalanda University, which had Buddhist studies, was destroyed by invaders. And after that, there was no leadership, and basically, Buddhism did not survive in India. However, in Southeast Asia or South Asia, in those countries, Buddhism had already spread, and Buddha's ideas, one more time, again, based on the country and the existing culture in the country, they had taken different shapes and different forms, different sects. Countries such as Tibet, Bhutan, Nepal, Burma, Vietnam, China, Japan, Sri Lanka, all these countries not only had Buddhism, but that had become the primary source of religion and knowledge for people. So it survived in those countries, although not in India. As I said recently, in the 70s, Mr. Goenka from Burma, who came back to India and started Vipassana retreats in India. Since that time, Vipassana has made a big comeback in India. A lot of people go to those very austere type of retreats that can be life-changing experience for many. Meanwhile, what happened that Vipassana became this mindfulness, as I said, the secular and but sacred tool. So I have already mentioned how the youth from the US had come to India in the 70s, and they studied Buddhist ideas because they were looking for answers. They became monks for 2, 3, 4 years. They went back to the US, they started Buddhist groups, but it was still on the level of under the rubric of Buddhism. Then, as I said, John Kabat-Zinn, who took the ideas and he came up with MBSR, mindfulness-based stress reduction, and he started these groups which were for stress reduction in different hospitals, and he did studies. It was nothing to do with religion. It was ideas of how to do these meditations in order to reduce your stress, and plus movement and these kinds of things added to it. But at the same time, around the same time, something other which was very significant that happened. 14th Dalai Lama, His Holiness, who we know, no Dalai Lama, who had left China, who was exiled from Tibet because of Chinese invasion. And he went to India and he was there, he was living there, but he was also traveling to the West. He was very curious about Western science. He was one of the unique leaders who wanted to test the claims for meditation and such things from contemplative traditions. He wanted to test it by using Western established scientific methods. So in 1987, along with a couple of other people, he started what's called as Mind Life Institute. They started having conferences with monks, the people who came from contemplative traditions, and with Western established scientists. And they wanted to see things like if the behavioral claims are can be tested by using behavioral studies, the neurological changes, do they happen in the brain? So that was one big reason why scientists became heavily interested in Vipassana, which again, I'm going to start calling it mindfulness. What we are learning now is pretty much true to the Vipassana tradition, what we are trying to learn in mindfulness. But one more time, it's not about the religion, but it's about how to create the right type of non-attachment. So Mind Life Institute has had almost 26 or some number of conferences since that time. The scientists get together and they ponder over a lot of different questions. And by now, there has been an explosion of scientific studies, and stress reduction and attention, meaning focus, and these kinds of things are tested quite well. Some other claims they are being tested. There are a lot of studies, so-called preliminary studies, that show a lot of good results. One more time, the science will progress and we'll have more and more. But at this point, even other things such as cognitive functioning and memory getting better, to have better relationships with people, and attention increasing, blood pressure related or stress related disorders, some effect on that. These kinds of things are well established. Main thing, as I said, is the idea of moving more towards well-being, sense of well-being. That is the ultimate goal of doing these kinds of things. And that's what I'm hoping you would get by the end of our camp. And as we progress, you will see more and more of why you can transcend, why and how you can transcend negative feelings and move towards joy. I want to make it clear, when I talk about non-attachment, whatever you understand as attachment, leave that on the side, because I'm not talking about attachment to family or attachment to pets or attachments of those sorts. In our world, attachment is defined as intense craving and intense hatred. If you crave something so intensely that you are willing to do anything, whatever it takes, that may not be the constructive way, or that may not be the wholesome action. Similarly, if you hate something too intensely, or if there's too much aversion about something, even then you may not act appropriately and you may regret it later. These two things create miseries. And that's what we are trying to train our brain not to get immersed into craving and aversion, but instead to have a healthy motivation and healthy sense of well-being by transcending negative feelings. So now with this, I would like to show you the link to Mind and Life Institute before we get into our body sensation meditation. I think everybody can see this link rather right now. I think I need to show you the top part, which is the Mind and Life Institute. And the mission page, I will read it out to you. The Mind and Life Institute is a non-profit organization committed to building a scientific understanding of the mind as a way to help reduce suffering and promote human flourishing. To accomplish this, we foster interdisciplinary dialogue between Western science, philosophy, humanities, and contemplative traditions, supporting the integration of first person inquiries through meditations and other contemplative practices into traditional scientific methodology. So that's what we are trying to do. We are trying to achieve that effect of meditation. And with that, now I'm going to turn this link off. And I started the body sensation meditation last time, which typically I repeat the same session in the same day. In fact, it was last night for me, but in India it will be the same day because we are dealing with international audience. There may be a little bit of confusion, but right now, for a lot of you guys, this will be the first time when you are experiencing the body sensation meditation, the body awareness. And I would be very curious to know if breath awareness and body awareness are two different kinds of experiences for you. Different people like different types of meditations. Regardless, body awareness is one of the most important. Well, I shouldn't say most important, it's very important meditation. It gets you in touch with your body, which for a lot of people, what that means is really getting in touch with themselves. Because as I said, James Joyce says, Mr. Duffy always lived 3 inches away from his body. So it is to come closer and to know how our body functions. For some people who are oversensitive to whatever is going on in their body, for them, they may have to modify the way I'm teaching this body sensation. If that happens to you, then let me know and I'll tell you, or maybe in the on-air thing in the future, we'll talk about how to deal with people who have overly sensitive bodies, like every little thing that goes on in the body makes them feel vigilant or worried. For them, we may need to modify this body sensation meditation. So let's go with it right now. Let's get rid of this bottom. Okay. Okay. So relax your shoulders and close your eyes. And take a few deep breaths. And now with that, I'm going to start by the gong 3 times. And breathe in and breathe out and pay attention to the breath for just a minute. Breath, the source of life, the vital part of our existence, our center, our refuge. Pay attention to the breath just for a short time to center yourself, to come back here and now. Leave everything else outside this door. All you're doing is sitting here and breathing in and breathing out. And with this, now we are going to start paying attention to our body. I'll guide you through this body scan. Here and now, how is my body feeling? What body sensations are there? Internally and externally. Internally is inside that part of the body. Externally is on the skin. How are you experiencing your body sensations? So start with the top of your head. and your entire skull, and pay attention to how you're feeling on the skull and inside the head. And notice if there is any headache or anything like that you feel, or any extra sensitive feeling you get on your skull. Notice it. And then go to your face, entire face, and see if you feel anything on the skin, anywhere. And inside your face, do you have any sensation, any muscular movement or cartilage, anything you may feel? And now move to the neck and see what you feel on the skin as well as inside. As you are focusing on this part of your body, you may notice some itching or twitching somewhere else. Just notice it and come back to the neck. No need to react, no need to actually do the scratching or get up or respond to any aches or pains in an immediate way. If you need to move your body a little bit, go ahead and do it. And then move to the shoulders and see how you feel in that area. Do you feel relaxed or do you feel tension? And go to the upper back, externally and internally. How do you feel in your back? And move to the lower back. How do you feel? Is there any ache or pain? Pay attention to all different parts of your lower back. And then move to the chest. See what body sensations you have in the chest area. on the skin as well as inside. Do you feel your heart beating? The slight rising and falling of the chest? Do you feel any pressure anywhere or you feel relaxed? Can you visualize your lungs? And now move to the tummy. And in the tummy area, see how you feel on the skin of the tummy. There is any itching or any feeling you have. Whatever it is, it's okay. And move inside internally and check if you have butterflies or you have warm, comfortable feeling. If you feel any discomfort, just simply notice it. That's okay. Total acceptance of whatever is there. And now check your pelvic area and hips and see what you feel there on the skin. Where you're sitting, the body must be touching your seat. Is there any comfortable feeling or any agitation or any disturbance? Just notice. Whatever is there, total acceptance. And now pay attention to your entire upper part of your body as if it's a bottle. The top is your head and the bottom is where you're sitting. Just the upper part. All at once. And see how you feel, where your attention goes. Just focus there for some time. Stay wherever your attention goes first. Just stay there for some time. And see if the sensation there stays the same. And now, because we have meditated for over 10 minutes, at this point I'm going to ask you to wind down the meditation. And in order to do that, first we are going to say this line 3 times in our minds and pay attention to what you're saying. Breathe in, I smile. Breathe out, I'm okay. Breathe in, I smile. Breathe out, I'm okay. Breathe in, I smile. Breathe out, I'm okay. And with this gong, we stop the meditation. And open your eyes slightly at first and then all the way. For some of you, this must have been the first time you did a small version of body awareness meditation. Next time, we are going to do a longer version of the body awareness meditation. Today, I spent a lot more time in trying to finish the story of mindfulness, and hence we had less time for doing the actual meditation. But I wanted to give you a glimpse into the body awareness meditation. Now, what are you doing by doing this body awareness meditation that is different than breath awareness? For that, we are going to wait till next time. When we do a complete body awareness meditation, I will tell you what is it that you are getting by doing body awareness meditation. Before that, I want to answer one question that had come up in the email, which is if I can recapture the 3 ways to do breath awareness meditation. Those of you already know it, be patient. The first way to meditate with your breath that I taught is by counting. So when you take the breath in, you count, and you let the breath out, you count. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2. And after some time you will your mind may wander around, you bring it back and start 1, 2 again. Counting, some people find it easier when they count. Sometimes they may want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 till 10 and then restart. Most of the time before you reach the number 10, your mind will wander around. Then you start with 1, 2 again. So counting is one way. The second way, as I said, is to pay attention to the nostril, to see whatever itching, twitching, body sensation, just attention should lie here the whole time. And the third way is not just one single focus, but a little bit of a line. So you pay attention to the movement. Breath goes in all the way to the lungs. You notice the movement to the lungs, breath goes out. So these are the 3 ways in which we can pay attention to our breath. I wanted to recapture this. The other thing I wanted to talk about is whether you should move or not when you are doing this meditation. First of all, there are 2 ways or 2 different thoughts in this. If you're doing a traditional, strict Vipassana type of a retreat, you will ask to, after first 2-3 days of it's okay to move and it's okay to use the backrest, they will encourage you to leave all that and then do meditations without moving at all. No movement, like as if you're a statue, which by the way can be really difficult. There can be aches and pains, and the idea is to sit through that. The second way, which is more in Western style retreats, what's taught is okay to move a little bit. And regardless, in the beginning, when you're still training yourself, it would be okay to move a little bit and adjust, but try not to like scratch and get up and do those kind of things. That will be more or less like a distraction. And you will realize the itching goes away once you start meditating, and once you don't actually scratch, then the itching will go away. And that is an interesting learning experience. Sometimes people will have experience of legs falling asleep, but it's perfectly okay. After you're done with meditation, you can get up and slowly your legs will come back. You are not going to get paralyzed because of meditating for 20 minutes in case your legs fall asleep. So that is the other part that is okay. However, as I said, do move a little bit to adjust your body in the beginning. Whether to go the strict way in the future, or whether to stay this milder version, that is up to you in a way. In the future, I'm going to tell you advantages of doing the traditional Vipassana meditation and what the philosophy behind going through the discomfort is. Even if you don't, you may derive the same benefits. Now, let me see, there is a question here. What is the maximum time do we meditate for body awareness? Sandy wants to know. Sandy, maximum time, there is no such thing as maximum time. Let's talk about minimum time. Maximum time is up to you. I would urge, okay, for the sake of our training, I can tell you some guidelines with the time, to how much time you should spend in meditating. Start with 2 minutes and go up to 20 minutes. Okay, start with, even if it's just 2 minutes, and go up to 20 minutes. Beyond that, we'll see if you can sit through it. You can go up to 40 minutes. Try it out. Try it out and see. I have to say bye right now, and I'll see you all later for my next session or tomorrow. Bye.